What's up, guys? Welcome back to Al's Homestead. If you're not subscribed, go and subscribe. Today's video, I'm going to show you the lazy man's method of planting potatoes, how to do it, how hard it is. Like I said, it's the lazy man's method of planting potatoes, and yeah, let's dive in. Lazy man's method. It's really nice to have a raised bed, but it's okay if you don't. As you can see, I just have a very shallow layer of compost here that I covered up the regular soil with. It is the raised bed expansion. And then I'm going to show you how to do the lazy man's method right here in a second. First of all, you just want to lay out your potatoes where you want them to grow. Now you want the eyes facing up, or at least in the general direction of up, because the eyes are what grow leaves and stems. So place your potatoes in that shallow layer of compost on the ground. No, you are not done yet. First, you have to just plant all of the potatoes. So I'm going to snap my fingers, then we'll plant them all. Okay, guys, and just like that, we have them all planted. Right here, these first 2-3 rows right there, the Yukon Gold. When you prepare them, they taste like they have butter on them. Even if they don't, they are delicious. They're soft, they're nutritious. More of a golden potato. Over there on the last row, I have 4 red potatoes. So I don't remember the exact variety of those, but they're just red potatoes. I think they're more of a late season. I can't remember. Yukon Golds are early season potatoes. But anyway, we got them planted all up, just in our shallow layer of compost. Now I'll show you guys the next step, lazy man's way of planting potatoes. Guys, that was real hard. Just kidding. All required was just pitchforking some rotted chicken bedding or chicken coop bedding onto the potatoes onto the top. So it's basically just a compost thing. And then by next year, this will all be broken down. I'll mend it in the fall with some compost and other stuff right on top of there. And then I'll have a nice long raised bed. I can move the potatoes around next year, plant them wherever I want to in a raised bed. But that's the lazy man's method. All you're literally doing is laying them on the ground, putting something on top of them, whether it's hay or straw. It doesn't matter as long as you have something very fertile beneath them, because potatoes need lots of nutrients. So amend the soil if you have to. Give them some compost beneath them, a few inches of compost, then cover them up, hay, straw, compost, whatever you cover them in. Just cover them no more than 6 inches. Probably want to be at 4 or 5, just so they don't turn green when it's developing potatoes under there. But that is the lazy man's method, you guys. Doesn't require hardly any work. No like crazy digging in the hard compacted soil. The potatoes should be able to develop very easily in there because it's nice and loose material, about half rotted compost. So it's a nice, loose, nutrient dense material. The potatoes will hopefully love it in there. One more thing, I didn't show it, but just soak them in really good, and then they should be good for the rest of the year under all that, compost. But if it does get dry, you stick your fingers a few inches down, there's no moisture, get them heavily wet again, but don't flood them out. Just be careful about that, and keep the soil just, a nice moist texture like you would with other gardening plants too. Next, I just want to go around, give you an update on the animals and the new garden space and all that fun stuff. First of all, Henrietta, she has been laying every 3-4 days. She has been laying eggs without shells. It's not what she's doing right now. She gets moody feelings and she wants to sit on the nest for a while, for a few hours, then she'll wander off and go somewhere else. But I'll update you on the chick situation, when we're getting chicks, how we're getting in a little bit. But first, let's go show you guys the garden. I'll show you the big garden first. So notice over here, the worms are returning to the soil under this compost and under these leaves. The worms are returning, which is very important to healthy plants. Feed the worms, and the worms will basically feed your plants. Over there on that side of the garden, we are gonna go cover crops. I bought some winter rye and we are going to be growing giant red clover on that side, so that's neat. I'll show you guys where the chickens grazed and show you guys some of the grass that was produced after they grazed here. Look at this very healthy stand of grass and clover. I mean, look at that, you guys. I'll try to get the camera to focus. There we go. But look at how healthy this grass and clover is. And this is where the chickens were probably about a month ago, roughly now. So look at how lush it is there. Obviously, there are some patches that the grass will fill in, but look at how lush the grass is starting to get on Homestead here in Wisconsin. It's going to be 70 degrees here today. Might be 70 already. The grass is greened up for the year. Clover's really starting to come back. Show the dandelions. Let's show you guys the new garden space. So I did these planters out of some bricks I had lying around, the extra bricks I had left over from the raised bed project way over there. And then we got some petunias planted in them today. There's the other one right over there. These are the stakes for the tomatoes. We're growing almost 30 of them this year, so not an overwhelming amount like last year. That's the cage for the raised bed. I have to put on there when I'm not working in it to protect the lettuce greens and the kale greens is over there. That's the kale greens. I do have 2 rows of lettuce coming up. Some head lettuce, some is leaf lettuce, and I did plant the onion bulbs right there and right there in a row. So that's the raised bed update. I also built this neat little herb garden in the middle of the new garden space. The corner brick planters kind of mark the edges of the garden, and then on the left side of this brick herb garden, I will be doing just some tomatoes on the left side of that, and then on the right side of that, where the compost pile remains still are, I'm going to need to spread that out. But on the right side of that, we're going to do all the squash. So the pumpkins, the gourds, cucumbers are probably going to be in that pen so they can climb up it. But cucumber, or squash, zucchini, pumpkins, winter squash, spaghetti squash, all that stuff is going right here. Over here is a neat little space right here. From here to the edge of that new raised bed garden, a little more about that in a bit. From here to those logs is going to be the cut flower operation. I'm going to try to sell cut flowers this fall. Hopefully the coronavirus, or this late summer and fall, we'll hopefully sell cut flowers at a farm stand in our front yard if the coronavirus restrictions have ceased by then. Over here is the raised bed that I built. So it's super cool. That's one corner of it, or it's kind of a wraparound raised bed I built out of logs. Our neighbors took down a perfectly good tree, but you know what they say, one man's junk is another man's treasure. So we took some of the logs from it, some for just campfires and some for this raised bed. There's a strawberry plant. I put in 27 strawberry plants a week ago now. They're leafing out good, and these are the strawberry beds. Finally, we have a permanent solution for our strawberries. Here in the pen, I'm gonna need to put some compost, or get the chickens in here for a day just to remove most of the weeds, get some straw down, choke out the weeds, and then we're gonna be doing cabbage, probably some pole beans, cucumbers, and 1 or 2 other things in here. There is Henrietta again. So I gave you guys a chicken update. They're in the new chicken tractor. We had to put these on to support the overhang of the roof because it was bending down and it would eventually crack if we would have just left it like that. So we put the corner supports off for 4 corners. Chickens are doing good in there. There they are, lining to get out. That's their water way over in the corner. Supplement tubs. And I'll show you guys the blueberries next. So that is one of the new blueberry bushes. I mulched it with some just old pine needles and dirt from under the pine tree. That's one of our original blueberry bushes. It's doing good. On to the other side. That's another one of our original blueberry bushes. And that's one of the 2 new ones. I do need to bring some mulch from here to here. Mulch that whole area so we don't have to mow it. And then do a little bit more mulching down here. I'm going to take a few seconds out of the video, show you guys the egg incubator we are going to be using to incubate the eggs. More on that in a future hatching video, but It holds up to 12 eggs, actually more the way we're doing it, but that's the top piece. That's the automatic egg turner if you use this rack, but this rack only holds 9 eggs, so I will be just taking this rack out and then putting the eggs on this tray right here, and then the bottom tray beneath that, you got to fill the water to a certain line beneath this tray. And then during lockdown, last 3 days of hatching, just take this tray out, let the eggs in there so they have enough room to hatch and stand up. And that's what the incubator looks like. There you guys have it. That's the lazy man's method to planting potatoes. If you enjoyed, I'd enjoy it if you subscribe. That would mean a lot to me. Hit thumbs up on the video, comment down below. See you right back here in the next one at Al's Homestead. See you guys.